Welcome to the Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano. Airing live on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 FM in New Orleans.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Outer Realm Thursday night edition. We are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network UFO, Paranormal Radio Network 105.3 and 107.7 FM from the beautiful city of New Orleans. We are fully sponsored by the amazing people over at Folgers Coffee who have been a part of our journey pretty much since the beginning. So thank you, Folgers. We appreciate you so very much. Also, big thank you to Justin Snicker, aka Dr. Snick, the Sonic Surgeon, for his contribution of his time, his voice, and his music for the intro that you just heard. He's an award-winning composer of Halloween, horror, sci-fi, and dark wave electronic music, which can be found on all of your favorite streaming platforms. Also, big thank you to Steve McGinnis, the artist behind all of our banners and logos. And he can be found on Facebook and Instagram. Also specializes in the horror genre, but can do pretty much everything. He does amazing commission pieces, comic books, different, book artistry stuff. He's just pretty phenomenal. So tonight, of course, we've had a quick change in plans. Teresa and Daniel Duke got hit by a storm down in Texas, and their internet went flat. So we have switched them up with one of our Q&A nights, which is September 27th. So they do send their apologies. They were just very sad that they couldn't be here. But couple more weeks and we're doing one of our favorites, Q&A. Woo!
Yeah.
Discussion. Yeah.
I think we have to not book that whole coast in August and September.
I'm starting to think, yeah.
Yeah. Texas, no book anyone from Louisiana, Atlanta, Georgia, Florida for the next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, those storms are really bad. The important thing is they're safe and sound and everybody's okay.
That's what I said. I said, don't fret.
Yeah. Excuse my hair.
We're here.
Yeah. Excuse my hair, everybody who's watching. I need
anyway, so we love doing the Q&As, having open discussions. It's always so interesting, and it's like open forum. Anything that anybody wants to talk about, it's here. And we used to do these like once every few months, and people's like, come on, do them all the time. Hamilton, do them every night. Oh, no.
Oh my gosh.
What the hell,
He's not even up to watch us.
Us too.
Aw, thanks, Stevie. No wonder.
I know.
We have fun with it because, we can just relax. We have fun. We love our guests, but it's nice to just let loose and have more interaction with our audience. It's important. We're here because of you. So,
it is.
We have fun.
Some of us came back just for the occasion.
Yeah. Well, when I saw that, I'm like, no, okay. Be ready in 20 minutes. Don't do it.
Yeah. Otherwise, guys, would it be me just blabbering?
Yeah. Oh, no. It still would have been a fabulous show.
It's almost more fun. The Q&A just aren't the same.
They're fun. They're a lot of fun. And we don't have that fake chat room like Joe Montaldo has. We always have people that talk to us. We tease him about one of his chat rooms because we can't see it.
I always
say it's not real.
Because you know what, guys? We have like 7 chat rooms. Okay, 7 chat rooms. And he's off on some entirely different chat room. We're like,
and a different window, a whole different window. I'm like, you're lying.
Where's that chat room? I want in.
You lie.
I want to go and track with your people.
Yes, because they talk a lot, and I'm like, wow, that's just amazing. And Joe never mentions their names, and it's just they're like, a child's imaginary friend.
I know.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Yeah, it's like a child's imaginary friend, Jojo.
Now tonight's the night you can like misbehave, Chris, because it's Q&A.
It's just us. Bring it.
Ready to be good. Yes. I don't think people realize in the chat rooms when we have a guest on, we see this chat board here, like all these chat rooms congregate into one. So can the guests see them?
Just be careful what you write.
Heads up on that.
Yeah, like they can read your comments. It's big and it's clear. It's on there, right?
I know.
And
we have a disclaimer too, like we don't necessarily agree with everything everybody says, but they're gracious enough to come in, share their research with us, their stories, whatever.
We're not talking about you, Chris. Sorry. I just saw that. Sorry. No, we're not talking about you.
Sure.
No.
We all misbehave. I misbehave.
But realistically, you haven't had to ban many people. Like I think you can count on one hand.
I know.
You guys are amazing. You're so kind, and you can tell you're really interested, and you're very respectful.
You don't have to agree, but you have to appreciate the fact that they're giving their time to us, and our guests are very important to us. Our listeners are very important to us. That's what makes the Outer Realm what it is. It's a combination of the whole package, and we appreciate all of you. So, well, hey, Zach,
welcome back,
stranger, where you've been hiding.
If you looked at having guests on that only you agree with, you would never learn anything. You would never, you would have very few people on because there's no one, you're not going to agree 100% with what anyone says.
It's okay to have a healthy debate, but it has to be done with a degree of tact.
Yes. A couple of weeks ago, we had somebody really nasty in there, and I didn't understand if it was a dry sense of humor or that person was just an a-hole. Yeah. And I was like, wow, that's really nasty. I don't like trolls, and this isn't social media. This is an actual radio show. Yeah, we are live on FM. We're not going to take things like that very lightly.
And we just have to, remember, we don't always have to agree.
It always gets heated when it's religion, and it's like, that's fine. That's politics. Great. Politics and religion, which really go they really go hand in hand when you think about it, because the big fight is separating the two.
Right.
I'm hiding, getting ready for my book. Yay.
Yeah.
You're going to be okay on the East Coast?
Yeah. Well, we're nominated, that's for sure.
Nominated, yes. Thank you, Janie.
Yeah. But yeah, so what we thought we would start off with tonight is, oh my gosh, there's so many things sort of just popping up, and I had to start with this guy. I'm sure Dolly will chime in right away. And this is sort of, man, hold on. I'm actually wanting to bring up my email because I think I've got another one here too.
I think it's so funny.
Oh man. Yeah, it's definitely different. So, okay, brace ourselves. So, of course, Mexico had this really big, they had this meeting, they called this big announcement.
It was huge.
Yeah, they had discovered 5 mummies. No, what was it? I don't know if these are part of the 5 mummies.
I don't know, but they came in like giant boxes. Like that was weird.
Yeah, they had like a mummified body, which was supposed to be that of an alien, which was unveiled.
But they were showing them in
pretty much debunked, right? So
gift boxes.
Here it is. Here's the culprit right here. Here's one. Here's one
gift box.
Yeah.
Gift box. I'm telling you.
I know. I know. We do combine all the chat rooms, but unfortunately, just for us.
We do, but yeah.
But yeah, so this is one of these, one of the photos that were taken, and the person. I don't really want to say the name of the person who made this discovery initially going back to 2017 because he was involved in analysis of 5 mummies. I'm reading off an article, okay, guys? So again, I'm not trying to slander anybody, so I'm just going to keep it really kosher. 5 mummies were discovered in Peru, in the region where the UNESCO World Heritage Nazca Lines site is located. The images of these findings were initially aired on a documentary which was sponsored by Gaia. And so, a lot of people love Gaia, subscribe to it, enjoy it. It allegedly showed a crouched, mummified body of a humanoid figure and had an elongated skull and 3 fingers on each hand and foot. Snopes reported it. And again, I get funky with Snopes because
Snopes has been
let's put it
snoped.
this way. Yeah,
Yeah.
the husband and wife team, and no discredit to them. I mean, they've got some good stuff, but some of that stuff has been debunked too. So anyway, that alien discovery was debunked. The mummified corpse was shown to be that of a human child. So the individual who was involved in that apparently was involved in this. So that alone sort of takes away from the credibility, according to some people. So they don't have DNA. See,
Because you can't get DNA from paper mache.
Yeah. So
exactly.
But again, and that's what I'm saying. Like they've been debunked. So my question is, to everybody chiming in, why do you think they're surfacing with all of this right now?
It's very interesting, but it borders on political because other countries are really pissed off that this went into the media without any knowledge, and they were just really taken out of left field with this one. It came out of left field. They weren't expecting them to go public with this so right now, but I don't know. What do you think?
I tend to think that I agree with you on this being political. I believe that it's all about continuing on with this whole false flag thing, instilling fear, or are they trying? I mean, a case like this, if it were real, and I mean, hey guys, I'm just reiterating a lot of different perceptions out there with respect to this. This is just one of them. I mean, it's interesting to show in a way like, oh, hey, look, they've been here for a really long time and we have made this discovery and blah, blah, blah. We're all still here.
Yeah.
But instead, I think that they really want to instill that degree of fear. I truly believe that the powers that be always need an enemy, right? It's what keeps it. We spoke about this a little bit last night and many nights. That's what keeps the budget intact. That's what keeps the war machine going. War is money at the end of the day. Is this just another tactic? Everybody's chiming in right now. Yep. Fake alien invasion. Yep. Authentic alien bot. Chances are it's authentic fake. Yep. Dolly says there's a huge push for bringing a substantial national security threat. False flag. Agreed on that. I love it when you guys chime in.
Yeah.
Bubbles, can you see? Because you can go. I've just been plappering off for 2 weeks.
No, it's okay. I'm enjoying this. It's very entertaining. I feel like I love it.
Bam, 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 bam. It's just I
still watch her, I still watch her even though I'm not on. Zach says, I believe the attention given to this is driven by the mainstream to perpetuate the message of aliens are here. We don't know what they are. Put more money in for defense spending. Absolutely.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
I agree with that one. Yeah, but we're both here, so we can both read. It's different because Michelle directs the entire and produces the segments, so that's why I jump in and try to take the.
But you're also you're a slower speaker, so you can get it out there. I'm just like blah 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 blah.
I'm trying. That's not how I speak off air, and she knows it. It's like
this is true. Do you guys? See, I totally forgot what I was going to say.
My fault. We haven't dated in a while.
I know it's been a while.
Yeah.
What? I was reading my messages till it comes back.
Oh, it's okay.
Total improv. Go ahead.
Well, if dead aliens are classified as a world threat, all is good. Yeah, I don't think it's that simple. I
Do
don't think
you
it's that
guys
simple.
think it came back to me? I mean, to say, well, we don't know what they are. I don't know. Do you think that maybe they actually do know what they are? I mean, we've had other races of beings on this planet going back to the dawn of time.
It may still have.
Not exactly. Not everything is extraterrestrial. You're looking at dimensional beings, you're looking at terrestrial. There's many sightings of beings that have come up from under the ground, under the oceans, that go into the mountains. Crafts have been seen going into
Thanks, Wayne.
volcanoes. I mean,
Sorry, I killed your
we
day.
definitely know they've been around.
Yeah.
They've dated some of these out of place artifacts.
Yeah.
Artifacts back hundreds of millions of years, billions of years. I mean, come on. This is just, putting it out there. But do you think maybe they have a pretty good idea already?
I think they want to go to Starbucks with Wayne. Wayne, I owe you a Starbucks. I'm just saying.
Folgers, you guys need a drive-through over
No,
here.
no. Yeah. No, I'm saying because, well, we don't have Folgers. We're very, like, it's really hard to come by Folgers here. I'm just saying. It is hard to come by. I shouldn't have
only
said
certain
that.
stores. I know.
I forgot.
That's an
I'm like,
invite to
okay, I
Folgers.
owe you a tea. How's that? But Wayne doesn't drink coffee, so it's okay.
He does not.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Folgers doesn't make tea, so
He
I
wants
owe
to know
you a
why.
tea. Michelle will tell you after.
Oh.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I feel that they are very aware. I feel that maybe since the Roswell days, I feel maybe that they know even more. And I think we've just been purposely left in the dark. I have a question that was brought up last night. Yeah, shoot away. I'll fire away at it if I can. Deborah, it was very interesting. So if I can answer it, I will. Fire away. Go ahead.
Stevie No Wonder says, I believe ET are real and deaf a thing. However, there are so many theories to what they are. However, I am still not sure what they are. Okay. Yeah. Nobody knows except I'm going to tell you the government and people who have actually been abducted and contactees. Those are the people who know.
Yeah.
And you have to remember, if you go back to history, which Michelle always talks about with the Egyptians and the hieroglyphics and all the images on the inside of the pyramids, we know that they were around. We know that there are drawings that are dated. We know that.
Right.
So you think about how many thousands of years that was, and that hence where comes in when Michelle says they're not necessarily ET because they're still here. So they're really Earthlings in a way, because they've continued their line.
Yes.
And their race here.
They've been
here.
Think
about it.
I think they've been here all along. I do.
Yeah.
I don't think
they were
everything comes
us.
from out there. I believe it's dimensional. I believe we're going to go off a little bit for sure, but I mean, I completely, I don't know. I completely believe that there are beings out there. I mean, people have actually cited things like fairies, like dragons. We look at things that's just myth. I don't know, because there are still people who alleged to have seen these type of beings. And they just come through portals. Like Loch Ness. Did you ever wonder why, we never see the Loch Ness Monster, or in other places? Maybe it's a portal thing, because we know Loch Ness cannot sustain, like, feed something that big. Apparently, that's the story they're going with.
I feel like Loch Ness travels through a portal underwater.
What?
I feel like the Loch Ness Monster travels. She forgot how to read my mind. It's only been a week. Travels under because it's in the water. I believe there's a portal in the water. Yeah. And
that's what I mean. Yeah.
I believe we walk through portals and we're unaware of it.
There's a lot of stories about that. Let me go back to this one for the question from last night. The signal sent that causes heart fluttering. Okay, apparently, Dolly, you weren't here for this. You may know about this as well. But apparently, the powers that be, we'll leave it at that so we don't flag ourselves. They do have the technology where they can hit you with a beam and it can cause, and I've heard about this before as well, not just last night with Deborah, but that can cause the heart to flutter. And some people have even dropped dead from this, from stories that I have read. So when she was saying that if you start to feel that way, that you should just run and get out of the line of fire. Microwave, Dolly says, microwave. So yeah, so
wow.
I know. But I mean, Deborah's always open to getting emails. If you have questions from the show, you can always go in and send her an email as well. Okay, let me go back in and see now. Go ahead, Amelia. We're back on track.
I need to zoom that up.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Come on. Come on. Really? Really?
Do you want me to just go till you catch it? Or
yeah, you go ahead.
ETs and interdimensional beings have been here since the beginning of time and probably will be here long after we're gone. I agree.
Yeah.
Let me know when
after.
Let me know
that
when
I
you
can see.
Okay, go ahead.
I went to scroll and it opened a window. Steve No Wonder says it is interesting how they seem to be many times connected with high strangeness, example, Bigfoot, orbs, other entities, etc. Absolutely. Chris says, dude, the Loch Ness monster is real. I'm not a dude.
I hope so. And Wayne?
Wayne says the issue, as I see it to be, is that the universe that surrounds us is so vast, and those in power have been misleading us for centuries that it's so difficult to get to the actual truth. I feel the same way.
And will we actually ever get the truth, or are we going to get a version of the truth?
I don't know, because it's funny. When I saw that clip and I sent it to you for that today, and Joe, I was thinking exactly what Wayne said. He actually put the words right there for me. I was thinking the same thing. When is this going to end? I don't believe that we're a planet that's going to panic. I think it's ridiculous.
I think it has to be made to panic.
Yeah, they're starting that already with other things again, but nothing that I can talk about without getting us ripped off.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's so disturbing and it's so sad. And I can't believe that we're living in a time where this is happening. We're too far. I thought we were much more advanced and open, especially North America, and in Europe, where we're not third and fourth world countries. This is where they probably have a better acceptance of it, in third world countries than here. It's probably very normal to them because they don't have a government that's controlling them or taking care of them.
Indigenous people were well aware. Look at the Hopi. Come on, there's so many legends that go back into their oral tradition that they still talk about. Most Indigenous people from all over the world have their stories. People, like you say, but they go by their own set of rules as well. Not that they're not governed by the same laws, but they are, like you say, they are in their own space and they follow and honor their oral tradition.
And it's just so frustrating, to be honest. I can't believe how much I've changed since doing the show with you because of the guests that we've had on and things that I've learned from you and from Dolly and Preston and and Michael Carter, like just everybody that we've had on, Ken Gerhardt.
Because that's what people do, they research.
Everybody. And the research that I've seen and the commonality amongst all of them, and they don't know each other.
Right.
It's without getting into the political part of it, it's really hard to continue that conversation for me.
Right.
Yeah. because I feel like there's too much control, and I feel that's why there's so many more sightings and acceptance in other parts of the world than
We
here.
all have all of these now. It's very hard to
Yeah.
just, to keep that from people. I think this next comment is it's definitely interesting. I believe aliens pass by the planet because of how primitive we are. Yep.
I think they're trying to teach us. Yeah.
Yeah.
People
Probably.
not panic. Yeah, I don't believe
Probably lock
that.
their doors.
I don't believe that. I believe that there's a great percentage of the population that would not panic and is waiting for this to just come on, just do it kind of feeling. It's not where you would see in gatherings of conversations which you would not speak about this. You're hearing it more open and in public than anything when I was a child. You were looked at crazy. I don't think people look at you crazy anymore. I think people are like, wow, like when they hear something, that person actually thinks like I do, and it's okay. Like,
Right.
wow, this really is real. I mean, if you think about it and you hear that they've always been with us, how do you know you haven't interacted and you made it out just fine? So if they wanted to hurt us, they would have done it. This isn't about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Dolly, just going back to microwave transmission. That's going
Yeah.
back to that beam.
That's scary.
Yes. So can you see these comments okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Dolly says, hi, Dolly. Almost all communications are microwave. The things they have learned to do with it is serious.
Yes, exactly.
Chris says the Hopi talked about spider webs in the sky. Hello, chemtrails.
Right.
That's interesting.
That was like prediction wise.
Yeah.
That this would happen, and here we are.
Yeah.
And this is a good comment because this is a bit of a crossover, I think, into even, paranormal entities, right?
Yes. Wayne says, remember, dark things feed off fear. So it's beneficial to have the masses panicked and living in fear so these dark beings can dine out on all of the negative energy. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
he says people not fear.
Not panic. I don't believe that. I think that's a media thing, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think that's media produced. I have trouble finding anyone who's afraid to talk about it right now.
Right.
I'm really surprised.
Well, I think, this is I think the future. I think we are being made privy slowly to the future. And the future can be scary. But again, realistically, people have been having sightings and contact and experiences for hundreds of thousands of years. I mean, pre-Ice Age, tens of thousands, 10, 11, 12,000 years ago. I mean, there's stuff all over the place. All you've got to do is look at the ancient monuments, look at petroglyphs, look at hieroglyphs, look at, go to the museums. There's stuff hidden in plain sight. But we're just not taught to look for it. I truly, truly believe that we have been reconditioned to not even remember who we are. We are like exceptional beings that, we're supposed to evolve, and we're supposed to keep awakening and using all of these phenomenal abilities. It's almost like we're all these races that come to this planet or stop by this planet or are already on this planet are telepathic, that you have all these incredible abilities, mediumship, psychic abilities, like they're through the roof. We ourselves we're born with these abilities. Children are the proof of that. They're natural little psychics. Animals are natural psychics.
Yeah.
Yet you've got some people kind of what?
Prodigies too. Prodigies.
We're dumbed up.
Yeah. I watched a 15-month-old baby play classical music on a piano. I almost died.
Because
15 months can't even hold himself steady.
We have all of these abilities. We have been dumbed up. Whatever they put in the food, however they educate us, we just have mundane everything, most basic of education. So that, you obviously go to post education and you keep going. But the thing is, why has this happened to us? Why are we like one of the only humanoid species? I mean, animals are more keen.
I want to know why they want us to eat fake food too.
Right?
I have a problem with that.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yep.
So, yeah, negative forces, anger, hate, control, freaking, stop your abilities. Yes. Bad food. Yes.
Yes. I think food is a big one. And I posted a reel this week or last week that created a stir. Unbelievable. There's over, I don't know how many thousands of views and shares on this over ketchup. No lies. Heinz ketchup, 57. I can say it because it's out there. And it was a Canadian woman who said, I'm working in the US and I've been feeling really sick since I've lived here. And she crossed the border to visit her family and she went grocery shopping. One of the things she picked up was the Heinz ketchup in Canada. In Canada, we have a standard, and I know we still have a lot of work to do on our food as well. But we're a little bit more advanced in the sense of what's in our products. There are a lot of laws that state you can't touch certain things. In the ketchup in Canada, there's maybe a handful, 5 ingredients, if that. In the US, your first ingredient on Heinz 57 ketchup, and ours has the maple leaf on our ketchup bottle. And I'm not trying to promote Heinz. I don't even like ketchup. Just saying, okay? It starts with high fructose. Sir, why? Why is there 3/4 of the ingredient listing? And if you know how to read an ingredient list, the first ingredient is the majority that's in that packaging. So think about it. It starts at sugar. Ours starts with tomato paste. Ours has vinegar, salt, and spices. That's it.
I think you're at that point where it's like what I've been putting up Dolly's comments, and it's whole food living, it's organic living, and to the best that you can, grow your own if you can, if you're in a position to.
Yes.
I think if you want to take control of your own space, like, I mean, I'm not speaking for everybody, but if in your own space, then you can, or you should go ahead and start there. So we have, okay, well, before
Dolly said is sugar is an additive, it's addictive, and it creates health problems.
To you, Stevie.
So think about that.
Yeah.
Organic, you have to be aware with organic, Jeannie. I'm with you on that. But organic in Canada can be called organic as long as it meets a certain percentage and it's below that.
Yeah,
there's always chemicals on everything unless you're growing it yourself.
Okay, let's get back to this one here now. Okay.
Stevie says, I'm also concerned with modern tech regarding deep fake, being able to fake the film footage of anybody and paint them in a certain light, influencing the masses very much like the movie Total Recall. It's really bad right now.
It's here, people. It's here.
Really bad right now.
It's here. And man, it's scary. Go ahead.
Yeah. Musk said he doesn't want to do it, but he has to and able to control what's going on because of the fear of what AI can do. And he feels like if he's out there, I don't know how much I believe what you say, Elon, but if you want to talk about it, we're here.
Wayne?
Wayne says, at Stevie, no wonder our first contact will likely be a faked alien.
Yes.
Invasion brought into life. No, the thing jumped. Brought into life through 3-dimensional hologram technology. Dolly says, Preston says the actors are up in arms about it. Yeah, I know, because they don't get the $10 million paychecks.
It's true. It's true.
The less work they do on screen, the less they get paid.
Exactly. So you see, we're definitely getting into very concerning times. If they have your image,
it's very concerning.
Make you do anything. True.
I'm concerned about how this affects people who might speak out, and then all of a sudden there's this interesting criminal charge up against them with a video footage evidence.
like I said, we're in different times. There's a lot of things we need to be cautious about, and we just have to, I think, stay grounded. Remember
It's
who you
scary.
are. Remember where you come from. Don't believe everything you hear or say. Do your own research. Research
Yeah,
everything. God, I cross-reference things to freaking death.
you have to. You have to
You
do it like
have
an
to.
investigator.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to. And realistically, um, I've heard people say, "Oh God, the future is bright." I've heard people say, "Ooh, grim days." There's a lot of different perception that come along with that, and it can be scary. The unknown is always scary. I'm not a big AI fan, yet I love technology. I don't know, what what would we do without technology? I mean, once upon a time, I have found a way growing up, to wait till the streetlights came on and run home and you could just play outside and use your imagination.
It was different though.
Yeah,
Everybody was in the same place before. They were all immigrated, especially in Ontario. I mean, everybody was an immigrant.
yeah,
People watched out for other people's children.
it's true.
You
Much different.
you
Yeah,
didn't hear about children going missing and being abducted the way you do now. You knew
right,
there was stranger danger, and it
right.
was taught incorrectly in that, but those were
Hmm.
the days of bomb shelters and,
Hmm.
it was just a different time and it was just simpler.
Hmm.
The days of sponge toffee. Thank you, Wayne. Got me
Different
sneezing off here.
times, different times.
Yeah.
So let's sort of go back a little bit to not be too much gloom and doom, but let's just say, why don't you guys chime in and let's just say ET makes contact. I mean, really ET, not the false flag, Project Blue Beam, all of that. Let's just say tomorrow we wake up and there's a craft, or you go to bed tonight and all of a sudden you have a visitor.
Yeah, tell them where Michelle lives.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Go see Michelle.
Took me a while. It took me a while, but you know, but maybe they're all like Paul, that little, you know,
Oh, he's so
little
cute.
dude. I know. It's just
He's so
a little
cute.
happy dude,
Yeah.
you know. So how would you guys handle it? Let's just have a look. Like, let's just think about that. How would you handle it? I've come to terms with it. And I
I'd be
realized,
fine.
no, this has been happening to me a long time. Now I can connect the dots from going back as a childhood. I asked my family before my mom passed. I'm grateful that because it's very unexpected that I took the time to ask questions about, hey, did this ever happen? And my father used to speak very openly about it. So I realized now, wait, this happened both sides of my family. And it went back a long time because I asked questions about my grandparents and so on and so forth. So I've come to terms with that and say, you know what, I'm okay with this because I'm like, hey, this is I embrace it. I've had really good experiences. I've had downloads. I've been shown visions. For me, I feel that it's been beneficial. Do I
Mhm.
remember everything? No. Do I want to? I don't know. That's a point of no return. Maybe I don't. But let's just come in and say, as people chime in, 1 second, Thomas.
Tom, hi, Tom. Tom is a good friend, and I went to high school with my cousin Vito. My cousin Vito, it sounds like an Italian mob film. Um,
Yeah.
anyways, everybody's Vito in my family, but anyways, Tom says this. The reason why I say this because Vito says this to me all the time. If ET arrives, I'm leaving the planet with him.
That's where they go.
He says, I always ask, come down and take me with you. And Thomas, you're just like Vito.
Oh
Uh,
my gosh.
yes. Yeah. Jelly says, Michelle, if they had your yard, it will be telling you get on. Oh, if they
They
land in
landed
your
here.
yard. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
I
Had your
probably
yard. I'm
have
like,
at some point, and I definitely would.
yeah.
See, that's a difference. I would for sure.
See, I'd be
Uh,
afraid of not wanting to come back and leaving family. That's my thing. My thing
no,
is
I'd
the
be like, if
emotional
I go,
attachment.
family has to go. Let's make the rounds.
But
That's
maybe
it.
your family doesn't want to go.
Damn
You
it.
have to,
I'm
you have
kind
to
of like,
talk about it
I'm
with
breaking
them.
them all in though now. I'm
Yeah, because I
breaking
have a
them all in.
feeling she's going to throw me in that crap. That's why I'm saying
Exactly. I'm
this.
trying to take away the fear. So Tamara says
Yeah.
if there's a full exposure, it would be beneficial for people who have been abducted or have seen crafts. I think so. I do think it would be benefit to those who, who have come out with their stories or afraid to come out with their stories, get ridiculed,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
And I think that the government is counting on no visuals so that people are not comfortable.
Yeah, I think so too. I
Yeah.
think so too.
And I'm not talking about just American government. I'm talking about many governments.
Mhm.
We're talking WEF here. We can say that word, right?
Okay.
Oh crap! We'll find out.
Well, let's see if we're
Well,
still
it's
here
not
in
a
a
bad
week.
word. It's not a bad word. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not giving an opinion on it. I'm just like it does exist, and our country's part of that.
Yeah. We'll just let it go. Pretend it didn't happen.
Okay.
VT officially arrives. I wonder what their agenda is. Okay, so let's take it a step further, Zach. Why do you think there's an agenda? Do you think maybe they just feel like, oh, you know what? We think these people are ready telepathically. If you're thinking about it, and they have this telepathic link. I mean, that's how it all. My awareness started coming in because I just said, okay, I'm ready. Let's do this, and bam, like literally within days, and probably literally a couple of days, the experiences are full on, and I was made aware of them, like because I'm awake. So
I see when ET officially arrives, that part of that statement right there confuses me because I feel like they've always been here. And I feel like if they wanted to do anything malevolent, they would have done it by now. They don't need permission to come forward. I don't believe they do. I believe this is just part of every life and we just don't realize it.
right,
Does that make any
right,
sense? Like Dolly says, they're here. They're here. They've always been here. You
right.
know? Thanks, Dolly. Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah,
gonna keep
I wanna
going
go
while you're
explore the
talking. Yeah,
stars. I think the aliens will out the government.
just hoping.
Tamara, hi, Tamara. Yes.
Yeah, I
I
think
think they're
so.
in it.
Want to go explore the stars? Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's Zach's response. If you want to
Yeah.
get that.
Yes, thank you. Just from a historical perspective, any time when different cultures come into contact with each other, whether voluntary or by force, there is always an agenda that one side has. I agree with you on that. But I also think it depends on what race, because we've learned through our shows with our guests that not all races are the same. Some of them are here to benefit and to help, and they're compassionate. And then, of course, there has to be, it's yin and yang. It can't all be good, right?
Right, right. So here's another perspective. Okay, with all due respect, because this is what we're bouncing around. Everything's a perspective till it happens at the end of the day, right? Go ahead, Amelia.
Yeah. ETs are fallen angels. They are demons. I would not welcome them with open arms. The battle between good and evil is constant. Sorry, don't apologize for your opinion, Chris.
That's right. That's what this Q&A or open discussion is about. Absolutely.
Yeah. Don't apologize. That's your opinion.
But
Thomas,
you know that
Thomas, I'm
ETs,
going to love his.
if you go back into the Old Testament, ETs are in the Bible. Ezekiel's wheel, Enoch.
Yeah.
I mean, these are experiences.
Original. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff there that like I said, it's hidden in plain sight, and it's a lot of stuff that got left out as well. So there's all kinds of phenomenal experiences in there. Thomas.
Yeah. Well, because he started with I agree with Amelia, he's my favorite tonight. They have been watching us forever. We are an amusement to them, watching us kill our own existence. I don't know about amusement. I think there's some really good ones because of what I've heard from our guests. And then there's been some
of them quite a sense of humor.
Yeah. And then there's been some there. See, that's what I'm afraid of, is not the ones that are compassionate and kind. Of course not. I'm afraid of the other side, the not knowing, because we do know about certain aliens that are completely kind and helping and work with people here all the time.
Right.
what about the other ones?
Well, I mean, I truly believe that, demons are very different than extraterrestrials.
Yeah.
There are a lot of dark beings out there. There's a lot of different types of entities out there. We can't all just lump them all together. I mean,
No.
when you can look into remote viewing and different types of research, out of body experiences, you see things that are very, very different. We can't lump them all together,
No.
but I mean, it is really fascinating. And I think until you have that experience, it is really hard to say one way or the other. People would always ask me in interviews. I spent 2 decades doing interviews of people asking me for my opinion, and I've tried to clarify, but it is but an opinion. It is one perspective out of many. What do you think this is? Do you think this is real? Blah, 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 different things. And I'll let you know when I get there. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard.
You don't know for sure. All you can do
No.
is give an opinion.
Or based on your experience.
Well, that's exactly right.
See, and based on my experience, I agree with Dolly.
Right.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, right there. Exactly.
Yeah.
Here we go again. Go ahead.
Stevie says, I think humans, ETs, may be on a wide spectrum of good, bad, and indifferent. Just a thought. Don't know for sure. Yeah, none of us do. But yeah.
Humanity.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, go ahead. What do you want?
No, I was just going to read Chris's,
Okay.
but it's to Dolly.
To Dolly, yeah.
Thomas says, are we not part alien? Look at the pharaohs and their elongated heads, alien DNA already coursing through our veins. Yeah.
I definitely think in some cases, yeah.
Yeah.
Not everybody.
Especially if you got that RH going.
That's it. Okay.
May Gain says, I have been driving and I feel like my car and myself are going through a vortex. What? Like right now?
No, I have been driving. Oh. Ba, ba, ba.
Is it
That
because
can
of the
happen.
conversation or is that happening right now? I need to know. No, because we can help her.
This is true.
It's like
we've got your back, May.
Yeah, let us know.
Sure.
No, not now. Okay, good.
Okay, good.
So you have had that feeling, sorry, that you've gone through a vortex.
Mm-hmm.
That's wow. We had that once when you picked me up and drove me to the falls. Michelle doesn't let me drive to her house. That's a whole other thing, but it's very sweet. Remember when I said to you, there's that huge, and I'm not going to mention where because I don't want people driving there looking for this, that I said, oh my God, that's like the largest portal I have ever seen. And it was from one side of the highway to the other. Like we're talking huge.
There's everywhere stargates.
Yeah.
There's power spots, and the ancients knew where they were. The ancients built monuments over top of them, and I think, and the church, followed through after that, in old temples, and as it amalgamated so many different cultures and incorporated their culture into their belief system. They went on to build churches. You go to some of the really big, churches throughout the world, because I've spent a lot of time. I love cathedrals and old architecture. And you just go, you walk in, you start buzzing, and you just buzz out, that it's a very special place for many different reasons, Continue on here.
I love this. Dolly says, it is serious that humankind does not have all the answers at a time where that is exactly what humankind needs.
Yes.
I believe it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
There's no evidence in historical record that ET destroyed. Oh, okay, There's the other half of it. Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Who burned Alexandria's library? Who burned the library?
Oh, yeah. The Library of Alexandria. The church.
Yeah, who burned it? The church?
The church. Okay. Yeah, the Catholics, the Christians burned down. They took
from the Vatican?
Well, yeah, you would find that stuff in the Vatican because that is documented. So they definitely did that. And a lot of
That's sad.
sacred information went with it.
That's so sad. See, that's again proving one society has to have full control of everything.
Yeah.
And I am Roman Catholic, so don't come at me with emails. This is just a discussion. I'm not saying, we're just discussing because we're all trying to figure it out.
Look, when Christianity, started, taking over and infiltrating many different lands and cultures and bringing the cultures together, a lot of that sacred knowledge that each, country or region had all ended up in the Vatican. You'll find everything there. And their proof is that humanity is deadly to humanity. Yes. Yes. I agree. I do agree on that one for sure.
If instead of focusing on how bad aliens can be, just flip on a streaming service and look up serial killers.
Mm-hmm.
Look up Texas killing fields. That field's filled with over 30 bodies. Yeah. What are you afraid of? Like, you're living amongst the world is insane right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is the word. The truth is, love one another.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's difficult for some people.
Yeah.
It's easier to be angry, sadly, I think, for some than it is to feel a lot of that love, because it's that, it's easier to be frustration. It's not always just anger, it's frustration. It's a hard world. Life can be very hard. Some people work, 2 jobs. Some people, raising their families alone, or they're struggling, and the prices of everything just keep going up. And, you're sitting bumper to bumper traffic just to put food on the table, just to work. It is frustrating.
Yeah.
It's not, if you're in a small town, I would think you don't have at least those angsts. It's not easy sitting in bumper to bumper traffic for hours on end. And some people have quite a commute,
I never understood, like, during the whole thing that happened to us and everybody was home and working from home, why, if you can do it, why don't companies allow it? I mean, if you go into Scandinavia, a lot of people work from home because it's healthier. They get the job done. If they're getting the job done, why shouldn't they be allowed to do it? And if you're so concerned about emissions and carbon footprints, you wouldn't want them on the roads anyways, to travel an hour to go into the city. If you live in the city of Toronto, it'll take you can drive all day and still be in the city of Toronto. That's all I'm going to tell you. That is how big the city is. In Europe, if you drive for 4 hours, you're in another country. In Toronto, you drive for 4 hours, you've only moved a third of the city, if that.
It's true.
It is that big, the city of Toronto. It is that big. And if you talk about the greater Toronto area, it is literally the south of Ontario. It's literally all of southern Ontario. It's insanity. To drive to northern Ontario would take a day to drive to the top of our own province. And if you're in the UK, you can drive right through Europe all the way down to Spain.
I've done
in less than a day. So, like, think about it. And I don't understand, if there was a concern for our well-being, they wouldn't be forcing you back to work.
There's places
and don't forget, Elon Musk forced his workers back too. Think about that.
There's places throughout the world where you have a 4-day work week and you work a certain amount of time, free childcare, everything. So it takes that stress off, mandatory vacation. But that's a whole other show.
Italy's like that.
Mike, I will get back to you in one moment. Let us finish on this part.
Yeah. I agree with Wayne on this too. Burn all the books and destroy written history ensures that the following generations will only be able to subscribe to the new narrative. Absolutely. Tell them that they have all the right to do it. Will only create more anger and more push and acceptance.
Right. Okay. We'll go on to Mike now. Hey, Mike. Let's see.
Hi, Mike.
Let's see where you came in.
Nice picture. Is there a galactic society? And if so, do you think we will join it?
Where's on the fence? There's a really big belief that there's a galactic society. I think you're getting into exopolitics, and a lot of people believe that there is this whole galactic thing going on up there, and we've got a space fleet and all kinds of things. But and I have to say, there's a lot of whistleblowers out there, and some of them have, claimed that they've even risked their lives by coming forward and talking about it. I think if this time ever comes, because I don't personally think that there is, and Dolly's like, no.
Yeah,
But
I don't think so. I think it fights against what they've shown us.
but with that being said, I think in order to ever get to that point, we would have to unify here on this planet. I think this is probably where the one world order comes in, one government, one, one monetary system. I think we would almost have to become planet Earth, Earthlings, the human race, not a division of all of these other races. We're the human race. That's it. And I think we're far off from that. But again, you have a lot of people who are big exopolitics believers, and they believe this is a thing. So I don't know. Yeah, their wisdom is vast, billions of years in advance from us. Yeah, it would be very hard. I think we'd be the new kids on the block. But right now we're the kids that can't play nice in the sandbox. So that's kind of like that. We're still a little bit aggressive, and we're still,
little.
Ah,
Just drive on the road.
this is interesting.
Oh, exopolitics.
Politics, or
is going to control all humanity. Wake up.
Yeah, I think that is sad to think about it, because again, you're getting into a political movement. The powers that be, they're going to tell you, yes, we have a space fleet, we have this, we have that. But I mean, you could just, look it up. There's a huge movement. So, look up the Solar Warden. That's supposed to be the United States, or humanities, the human race, the space fleet. And apparently there's all kinds of stuff going on up there. But it's interesting, because if it's all happening around the moon and stuff, you think you'd see it? I mean, we'd see something. There's people out there with telescopes that could see distant planets, but they might see the odd thing going by. But there's so many darn satellites in the sky now; it's really hard to even know.
Yeah. Hi, Jade. Hello, lovelies. We have wisdom just locked inside of centuries of programming.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
I saw. 100%. I can't remember who it was that said this, but I thought it was quite interesting. He said, if United States could only save one state, I bet you it would be Florida.
Do you think?
That's what he said. He goes, you have to ask your question. You have to ask yourself why.
Right.
And he's in the research of ufology. I just can't remember who it was, because I watched so many of them.
Right.
I can't remember who said that. And I went, Florida. I would have thought the other side.
Yeah, like why?
Yeah, I don't know why. He said, ask yourself that question. It was on one of those, like either Joe Rogan clips or something. I can't remember, because I watch a lot of them. I don't watch full shows, but I'll watch like clips of podcasts.
Right.
Especially when we have guests on that are talking about a certain topic. I'd like to hear what other people like to say. But I just thought that to be strange as well, Dolly. I was a little surprised. I'm like, what's in Florida? Isn't Florida sinking?
I don't know. Thomas has got a good comment.
Yeah, Tom says history needs to be rewritten. The pyramids were built 25,000 years ago, not 3,000. Technology found that exceeds current advancements. Many believe aliens assisted well before Egyptians laid claim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that there were never really tombs.
No. And what's the tip of a pyramid? It's not blocks.
Mike.
Mike says, I heard a comedian say the U.S. is the Florida of Earth, and Earth is the Florida of the galaxy. You heard a comedian say that. I know it wasn't a comedian, because it was on one of those podcasts, but that's funny. That is funny. Florida might not like that you said that, though.
I know.
But it's funny, because I bet you find a lot of Canadians in Florida. There's a lot of Canadians in Florida. There's a lot of snowbirds. Yeah.
That's where all the
New Yorkers and Canadians. Yeah, New Yorkers and Canadians cover Florida.
Pyramid power.
They were power plants, not tombs. Yep. Dolly says the Great Pyramid at Giza is a generator for ET to energize their onboard batteries. I remember you saying that before as well.
It is interesting. I've been, and there's definitely, I mean, there's a whole pyramid power movement. You guys can Google that. You'll find all kinds of things. It can do phenomenal things, especially for your health. But a lot of people have had amazing, amazing experiences with the pyramids. I wish I wasn't, I had a ghost experience in there, but aside from that, I wish back then I would have been as versed. I would have cared enough because, I could always see and feel things, but I wish I would have been educationally versed the way I am now in hindsight, because I would have known what to do in the darn chamber. Aside from looking at hieroglyphs going,
you need to
why
go
was there
back. You
nobody
need
in
to
here
go back.
ever?
See, you had to learn all of this and you need to go back
And
now.
steps. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Dolly, we're not talking that they're using like Tesla batteries, right? I had to put that in there. Sorry.
Go back. I'll go back.
When I get uncomfortable, I make stupid jokes.
Yeah. So I don't know. So I think maybe that's the key. Things that are hidden in plain sight. So what do you, I mean, it's all there, right? They left behind clues.
That's funny because crime is in plain sight as well.
But I'm talking about ancient things.
Yeah.
Left in plain sight.
It's funny how the two yin and yang, good and bad, right?
Yeah. And Chris makes a good point here.
Yeah, maybe the pyramids were power generators for humans who had advanced technology that's been lost. Why ETs?
Well, we had a guest on who claimed that it was a large water generator, water pump, and he had really compelling information.
That's
to show
the thing.
that. So,
sometimes I wonder if everyone's right. At one point in time,
sure,
they are right about something, and that all of them are possibilities, because it doesn't mean it was always that way.
Exactly.
And Jade says, excuse me, that's how we build our wheelhouse of knowledge experience. Jade is such a positive energy. I adore you.
I know. I love it.
Yeah. Chris does make a good point, Tom says. And Dolly says, lost technology sadly has no proof among us.
Well, it's all hidden. Unfortunately.
Tom says electrical conductors reaching the peaks to provide power for what? For the crafts.
I think so. Yeah.
Tears still coming here. Ask yourself. They're here and they're coming.
Yeah.
I just think it's a big change that is coming. I don't want to say that they are, you know what I mean? Like I can't say anything because I don't recall any experiences. I can't say that I've had or had it. I don't recall, but I don't remember. And I'm sure there's a reason for that. Maybe they were afraid I'd blab it. I don't know.
I'm afraid I would blab it off.
I don't know. Well, I definitely told Michelle.
Who cares?
I blab it to Michelle. But I don't know.
I think you have to. I think that's the idea, is that they want people to share the information because of all of this false flag stuff going on. They want people to come forward and say, no, I've had good experiences. It's not all scary. And, I don't know, maybe that's a big part of it.
It's hard.
It's
hard because as much as you can have a ton of experience like Dolly and interview how many people Preston has and Joe Montaldo has, we still don't have all the answers. We have experiences, but different races might create different kinds of relationships and experiences. You don't have it's like us. We can talk to those who have passed, but yet we can't get answers about heaven or hell.
It's funny because I personally believe it's a dimensional thing, and I don't believe we're necessarily allowed to have all the answers, especially when it comes to afterlife. Because I believe life goes on.
Yeah.
It's just like I say, you're driving a car breaks down, you're going to find a way to get around, you're going to go get another car, or you're going to take a bus, you're going to find a way. I truly believe it's much like that. And I can only use my grandfather as an example. My grandmother said for years, my grandfather would come after he passed, sit down with her, and they would have all these conversations. And when he stepped out of line, she would say he had this woman with him. I think it was his guide. And whenever he would try to give too much information, she would say, "That's it, we're leaving now." Ironically, I would have communications with my grandfather, and it was the same idea. He would give me information I don't think I was supposed to have, and because it was interfering with my path. And you would hear a woman's voice saying, "That's enough." And he he was brazen. He'd go for it more, and he'd throw out all this information before she hauled him off. I'd be like, "Ooh,
I've been there
I
a
think
few
Grandpa's in
times
trouble."
where I've heard them say, "We cannot tell." And we're just like, "What do you mean you can't tell us? Why are we here?" I agree with Dolly when she says, "Well, if you learn to OBE, out of body experience, you can get a bunch of answers." I believe it. My point was, no matter how many experiences we don't know about around the world, is what I'm saying. We really don't have the answers for all of them. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I'm not saying, I mean, I believe in you and I believe in everything that you've experienced and what you are here to do, as well as Preston. You're both very dear to us. I'm just stating that we don't really know how many races there are. We only know what we are being told from these communications. That's what I'm trying to say. Just like we have communications with the other side, that kind of thing. Do we really know that what they're telling us is it, or are they only telling us on what they know? That's like
we have
too
a
much.
guest coming on in November. She's been on a couple of times before. I won't say the name right now, but she's been on a couple of times before. She's a hypnotherapist, and her main area of work is with contactees and abductees through regression. And she's going to come on and talk about the different races based on her clients and what they have seen. And we just kind of got, chatting over email one day, pardon me, and she mentioned a couple of things. I was like, "What?" It was just like that, for real. I went, "What?"
Yeah.
And I said, "You know what? You need to come back and we need to talk about this."
Yeah.
Seriously.
She's fun too.
She was thrilled.
She's fun. She's fun. She's the salt of the earth. Yeah.
She is. She has a lot of fun, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So
crazy. I don't know. Tom says, maybe the answer lays within our own internal voices. In the quiet meditation of our own individual answers can be found, heard. Too much media and information distracts us from our own truth. Agreed. Yeah. Dolly says, in the physical body, our physical mind is limited until your unconscious pairs up with it. Yep. Definitely. People don't realize how important meditation really is. Chris says, we're alive on the physical plane and we came here for a reason. OBEs and NDEs are just glimpses into the totality of our beings. Why not just live your early life like you're supposed to? I think human beings, earthly, okay. I think human beings are just naturally curious. We're like cats, but we don't have the 9 lives. Hi, Mark. That's the whole thing. But yeah, so, and Dolly says, I'm only here to teach. That is my path.
I believe so. Yeah, I'm all right. It's just, hacking up a fur ball. It's okay.
It's all the fur babies in the house.
That's right.
Got to get you a pet stick. One of those vacuums that.
Yeah, just taking it in.
Yeah.
So it comes back to the fact that we have things that are hidden in plain sight that I think could unlock doors, not just to all of these questions in our ancient past, but, maybe to the paranormal as well, because they are indeed linked.
Yeah. Thomas, I'm a Buddhist. We do get 9 lives or more until we get it right. I got to switch. I need those 9 lives, Tom. I think I've gone through a few already. Oh my God. Dolly says, hey, our Great Dane has more hair than the cat, because Chris said cats are crazy. Yeah.
So I don't know, guys. I guess it comes back to, do you guys feel we are ready for contact? Really ready?
No.
Would you believe your government and military if they said to you, this is a threat? Now, let's just keep in mind, like the last few years, we've had some disappointments. We felt protected. Many people felt protected. Many people were disappointed. Many people were left confused. And some of us are just like, people are just in limbo still. So, going on the heels of coming through all of that, if the powers that be said to you, this is a threat, would you believe them? Or would you take the message and say, okay, they've been here all along. Seriously, there have been sightings of them for ages. The ancient people lived alongside them. Remember, the ancients emulated what they were curious about, what they were in awe of, what they learned from. They built monuments to them. They drew images of them. So I don't know. What do you think?
Dolly says power corrupts. And the government is not ready. They're afraid to lose control of us. Have you ever recalled a time where the world was so uneasy within their own governments? This is something that's become common internationally. I don't recall anything like that in my lifetime. Like, we're not just talking about one leader. I'm saying leader in reference to with ET.
Right.
You have this unrest all over the world. So, yeah, I think this helps in making that decision that, no, I wouldn't believe them that it's a threat. I wouldn't believe any of that because they're not there for the people right now. Like, meaning everybody everywhere, not just our country, not just US, internationally.
Internationally.
World leaders are very disappointing right now.
So let's just examine this, okay? There are a lot of people out there who have been abductees, contactees, experiencers. And all of a sudden you have MyLab. You have military abductions, which is what MyLab stands for. Because they're curious as to what you're experiencing. Why?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Definitely good. Yeah. Okay. Good comment. Go ahead.
You want me to read that? I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Mike says, if the government told me I'm so bogged down with work, taxes, car payments, etc., that I don't have time to believe or disbelieve the government's announcement unless it affects me directly. I have to agree with
And that's
that
how a
little
lot
bit.
of people feel.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a tough time right now
It
for
is.
everyone everywhere, because I hear people saying it's so hard here with food or whatever, the supply chains and whatnot. Everybody's experiencing that internationally. What is that doing to the vibration, the collective?
Well, I mean, you definitely put it out there. It's going to, it's going to have a snowball effect.
Yeah.
It really is. I've tested that theory many times with the collective, But
Yeah.
this is a really good point. She goes, if you're all comfortable with what's happening now, it should make you think, where would we be if war came home?
Yeah, it's not far off.
And Jade's also great comment here.
Yeah, it will blow the entire foundation of religion and they won't be able to control humanity. But
yeah.
It does.
Government's agenda is war.
Yeah. The religion part does. It does blow that, but it also divides in a different way. Because I feel like you're taking faith away from people. If they feel like they want that, then that's up to them. Just like someone would choose not to believe, it's okay to believe, or whatever their beliefs and faith may be is what drives them, and it's part of their path and their journey. I feel like there's a line we have to be careful.
It's a fine line. You have
it
to be
is. It is.
I always say, I love her, religion and politics, the two big elephants in the room.
They're
Nobody
difficult.
wants to talk about it.
It's really hard. And I don't have strong opinions on anything. I'm just like, when I'm talking about, like, you know what I mean? The crocheted tea will bring you more. I made that.
You know.
Oh, does he? Okay,
Yes,
thanks, Mark.
always
Yeah,
there,
I
I know.
crocheted the ET. The ET is actually a lot bigger than he looks.
Oh, yeah, he's about 3 feet tall. I
Yeah.
know, he's awesome. So he sits there, got his own chair, old one at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's sitting on a better chair than I am. Chris says, we are at war right now. We send millions of dollars to Ukraine, who is fighting Russia. If you don't think we're at war, you're not paying attention. The whole world's at war. If we're not at war with another country, we're at war with one another. I think that's the war that we need to focus
War
in front of us.
equals money.
Money. And you know what else it equals? Crime. When there's war, there are more missing children and abducted children, kidnapped and trafficked than at any other time. Is when there is a tornado, there's a nature tragedy, tsunami, tornadoes, hurricanes,
Turmoil.
earthquakes. Whenever there's something like that where there creates some orphans or disarray, that's when traffickers come in and sweep those kids out. Why do you think there's so many kids missing right now from Maui and from the
2,000 kids missing?
Ukraine's in the tens of thousands. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Wow.
So you have to think about that. That's also money. It's the greatest money-making business right now, because if you get caught trafficking, you don't serve a sentence like you do if you're trafficking drugs. Think about it.
Yeah, sad.
And you can sell a person over and over and over again. So it's really sad. And war creates that. It creates a lot of people who are homeless and turn and not think and don't have their guards up. It's profit. It's control. It's different societies. You can get into the whole the whole thing with the Sound of Freedom with certain cults with sacrifices.
That's a whole other show.
Yeah.
And that one won't be able to air on YouTube. I don't ever mind doing a show like that, talking about cults and things like that, because there is a lot of dark stuff out there, and researched a lot of it very thoroughly. But as is, we would be booted off YouTube so fast if we went there. So we'll leave it at that for now. And
I always cross the line. That's why we only have these things once a month.
That's okay. We just have to be careful about how we do it. That's all, Yeah. Okay, May Gagne, here we go.
I think ET are here to maybe put balance back in the world, that maybe they are caretakers of Earth and we are not taking care of our planet. Just a hypothesis. I know Dolly will chime in on that one.
No, I completely agree, May. I think that we don't take care of our planet. We don't take care of ourselves, for God's sakes. We're governed by an unruly mob of individuals, and we really are left with no voice.
Now, internationally, it's not even one country. Yeah. That's what's so disturbing.
Yeah, it is very sad. But you know what? I think at this point, you just have to be the best you can, make your own space, the best it can be, ensures that your own belief system, it ensures your own survival. And I think it's good to just keep an open mind about everything, because I really do think things are going to start changing. Baby steps. Chris, I think we have a voice to a degree, but
I don't think it matters.
Your voice matters as a collective, like with a bunch, for example, elections. And even those in some countries have been shown to be rigged. I think if you work as a people together, yes, your voice can make a difference. Not that we don't have a voice. Believe me, this platform, this show is here to give people a voice in their research, in being able to come out and share information with everybody. This is how we've met so many fascinating people, including all of you guys in chat. It's just we have a voice, but I'm not saying this literally. I'm saying this as our voice just does not seem to be heard unless we really, as a group, just throw it out there and stand our ground. And boy, oh boy, there are repercussions that come along with that. Dolly again?
Yeah, I only combat evil with light, shed
Mhm.
light on cults, haul them out of their dark places, show them who they are, and then be ready to react to it.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to do a station and sponsor ID. Bum,
Yes.
bum, bum.
Yes. And I need to get my mouse on that. I am like so out of it today.
I think so.
You
You've
can
had
tell when I've
too
been
much time off there.
way too much time. Holy cow. It doesn't feel like a week. It feels more like, I don't know, months. Just it's been a crazy time. Okay, you are listening to The Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano, coming to you live from the beautiful city of New Orleans on 105.3 and 107.7 FM radio. And we are streaming right now live on the Roku channel. We're also in archive. Our guest tonight is our audience. We're having one of our infamous Q&As touching down on disclosures and whether or not ET is here and all different kinds of experiences. There isn't anything we haven't touched on. So if you're just tuning in, don't worry about it because you can stream our archives on any platform that you normally use. Please remember to click like and subscribe wherever you are so you don't miss an episode. Don't forget to share us with your family and friends. To the wonderful people at Folgers Coffee for your continued support in sponsoring our show. We thank you. We appreciate you deeply and we love you so much. No one loves you more than Michelle and I, trust me. For our fabulous banner and promo media that you see when we're posting our shows, that is a huge thanks and shout out to Steve McGinnis, who is a horror illustrator, a fantastic artist. Steve creates commission pieces as well, and he can be found on Facebook and Instagram. So look him up. Loving our intro and outro when you get to hear the outro, because sometimes we go well in. That is a huge thank you and shout out to our dear friend Dr. Snick, the sonic surgeon, Justin Snicker, award-winning composer. He is a vocalist and a musician. You can find his music on Amazon and Bandcamp. Every time I say Bandcamp, I think of American Pie movie. Sorry. Stream on any platform. You can find him anywhere. You can find Dr. Snick on Facebook and Instagram, posting every day. He's always posting clips of where he is as well. Now, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button and please share. If you're there right now, please hit subscribe.
There we
Thank
go.
you. You do that.
Now,
Thank you. Oh, no, not yet. Facebook. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, make sure to give us a like on Facebook. And we do post our archives there on SoundCloud, audio only. So you can check out all of them. And SoundCloud is a free app.
and it's one of our biggest as well.
Yeah.
So you'll find all of our stuff there. Absolutely. Now, for those of you who don't know, of course, the Outer Realm being myself and Amelia, we are sponsors for the Halifax Paranormal Symposium, which is a one-day event on Saturday, October the 7th. And they've got a whole lineup of guests for the day. And there's going to be vendors there. And this is going to be this. I'm going to guess this is going to be a prequel to many that are coming. And they are going to have some phenomenal speakers. Some have been on the show already. Here we go. Let's just get this up. So, of course, we've had, Chris Stiles has been on the show several times.
Yes.
But he's been on in the
So much
last
fun.
handful of months as well.
Yeah.
And we've had Daryl, who's been on with Elliot Van Dusen. They are actually coming on the show again on September 28th. And we had a whole lot of fun with these guys. Seriously, before parapsychologists, they have their own podcast called The Dueling Parapsychologist. So, I know, right?
They're fun. They're so fun.
Kim
to watch.
Mose has been on the show as well. So just a whole lot of fun. And if you can go and spend the day up there, they have a whole lot of amazing things planned. So check them out. And the website there is just flashing across the bottom. So go and show them some love and check them out. I wish I could, honestly.
I know. I wish we could be there, especially the first one.
I know.
Halifax is so beautiful.
It is.
The whole
It really
east coast of Canada is just stunning.
Oh my gosh. Are they streamed online at all? I don't believe they are. But you know what? Not a bad idea. It would probably be a really good idea. But I'm sure, if it's recorded at all, you might be able to get it after the fact, and it might,
I wouldn't be
encourage
surprised
people
if
to go
Elliot
after.
puts it on after, because Elliot's very tech savvy.
Right.
Ask him when he's on, Stevie. Ask him when he comes on. They're coming back on. So Folgers Elixir of Life. That's right. For us coffee drinkers.
Right.
It's Folgers in your cup.
Okay. All right. And want to get that? No. Yeah. Maybe.
Yes. Dolly says, thank you. And I truly care for your well-being. That is fact. My words. You are to join you to look more into what I say. Okay. I missed that type thing. I don't speak Dolly yet, but I'm almost there.
Right.
I speak Michelle. I do speak Michelle. And I don't speak JoJo yet. I can tell you that.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet.
No, 3 years, still not there. JR says they're beaming me up soon, and Riders on the Storm will be the tune. Lucky you.
I have not heard of this, so I can't comment.
Anyone have thoughts about the October 4th emergency test FEMA? I didn't
hear about
Where did
this.
that happen, Yvonne?
Yeah, it's
Did
coming
it
up, I guess.
US
So
yeah. No, it's coming up
on October the 4th. Yeah, feel free to share up some info. We'll put it out there for those who haven't heard of it.
I wonder why.
I know. Dolly says, yeah. All right, chime in, everybody. Chime on in.
Wow.
Let's go with there. I know.
We should have more. Chris, I can't be that well behaved, though. I'm having enough trouble now. Dolly says, this is a drill for the people who will be causing problems. Great.
Wow.
Like who? Dolly?
Yeah, Dolly. Like who? Possibly. Yeah.
Remember, my mind reads like a detective. So they are getting ready for nuclear. I'm not going to sleep.
You just read Bubbles. Like Bubbles will never sleep again.
Every time I know, I'm like,
that's pretty final. I mean, let's face it. And I don't think. Okay, Dolly, as we say this, let's just back up again a little bit to ET. Do you think they would actually allow this to happen? Because that's a lot of damage. That's a huge loss of life. That's huge damage of life and I mean huge loss of life, not just human life, animal life, forests, rivers, lakes, oceans. I mean, that's mass destruction.
Rainforest that way, the whole world's gone.
Well, if you just factor in how many are perhaps, ET are actually here.
Did you see Wayne's comment?
1 second. Yeah, I'm going to get to that. They're not here right now. But that's what I'm saying, though. But they might eventually want to be. The idiots that are here know this. Okay. So let's go with right here.
Yeah. Wayne says, don't be surprised if that test has within the broadcast a frequency that can affect people without them ever being aware of it.
It's got a tin hat on.
I know the tin hat might be a thing this evening. Might be tight.
I could see that.
Where do you even get tin? Because we don't even have tin foil anymore. It's all aluminum. I'm just like putting it out there. My squirrel. It's the same thing.
Go.
No.
There she goes. I'll put this up.
Go to the FEMA website, just saying frequency and upcoming virus. Oh God. Yeah.
New moon.
I'm
tonight.
So over that. Just saying.
We're on the tail end of a retrograde. Yes.
Oh, let's hope so, because 7 planets at once is like spinning me.
I like it. I love it.
Thanks,
Jade, the bearer
Jade.
of good news. Thank you.
Always.
Go ahead.
I need to talk to Jade before I go to bed. That way I can sleep. Sally says our solar system is not safe for ET to be here. Magnetism is messed up. Okay.
Well, this is something that obviously there's a lot of food for thought in tonight's segment. And man, is there a lot of food for thought. So we're going from, just a recap, we're going from, okay, I don't know that we're ready for contact, but we're being primed for it. The matter at hand, of course, is what are they going to try to instill? Are they going to instill fear? Well, they always do. I mean, I don't really think the powers that be want us to feel comfortable.
Dolly says scientific knowledge y'all need to get into. Canada can't get into a lot of stuff online right now.
Oh yeah,
just letting you know. I don't even know if we could Google search that.
I know, pretty sad.
I've been locked out of a lot of things. I can read them, but I can't share them. When I go to share them with my niece, and these are just news stories that are here. When I go to share them with my niece, all these friggin' like computer coding comes up and you can't click on it.
No. Yes.
Yeah, governments use what works, and fear has worked for centuries. It works for everybody. It's worked for every war ever. Mm-hmm. It's worked for every generation, every era. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ovaltine's not going to kick it, Jer.
So,
does that stuff still exist?
It does. I think so.
I wish we could access all the information ever collected about not just ET, but regarding, the I don't even want to call them aliens because they're really part of this planet, but these other beings, these other races that were here, and see just if there is any, have we really evolved with them or, because of them, or are we just in the same place we were 3,000 or 20,000 years ago? They were better off than we are because they accepted them and they worked with them.
Yes, because I believe that there was no propaganda back then. I mean, they were here, they existed, they worked together. I mean, people might find this hard to believe, but at one time, you would have the fairies, big, like adult-sized humanoids, magical beings, very, very spiritual, like shaman, and they would work with the druids as well. This was long before Christianity, long before that, and they all, for millennia, they would coexist, help one another, no fears. And then along came Christianity. And Christianity, that's what they did. They amalgamated people as they came into a territory. They would amalgamate the faiths and make it their own. And over time, they kind of went underground, like for real. They went underground. So dimensionally speaking, so we ended up losing a lot of magical beings that coexisted with our ancient ancestors without any issues. All of a sudden, you have a governing body that comes in with new rules, changes the game a little bit, and we start becoming more regulated as to our beliefs or what we're allowed to believe. It's a pattern. It keeps happening. Yeah, it's true. Without reading that out loud. Yeah, I was just answering. Yeah. So I don't know. It's tough. Still your babies. Yeah, I agree.
I believe that someone put up the veil of the dimension to keep them next to us, keep them happy, but cloaking us so that we can't, or cloaking them so that we can't see them.
I think it's a part of it. And I also think that we just don't all use, even the most gifted people don't use all of the abilities that they were meant to have because you can't,
It's
because
also fear.
half of this planet is asleep.
Yeah.
And when I say asleep, it's just, conditioning, what's in the food, the fluoride, what's in the water, things like that, like it just goes in. So it dumbs us up a little bit because they don't want people who can use. Can you imagine having a bunch of telepathic people running around, being able to figure out what the hell you're really doing? No, I don't
Yeah.
think they want that. So
No.
those are some of the abilities that go to the wayside because to be able to communicate with people telepathically, you have to be able to have somebody else to communicate with. And I think half the population, probably 3/4, has just been dormant, is the best way to put it. So we're supposed to keep evolving, yet we've been going backwards. So, I think ET have been trying the whole time to say, hey, wake up, you're sleeping. This is a dream. Wake up. Use the abilities because you were born with them. You were meant to use them, right? Calcified pineal gland. Yes, exactly. So, and Chris said, by the same token, we create our own reality by thought. Well, yes. I mean, they believe you can manifest your own reality, but I think that is maybe to a degree manifestation. That's a lot of what's up here. If you're manifesting all of these wonderful things to come to you, you need to be putting that out. You have to be putting that energy back out for it to receive it.
You have to give back too.
Exactly.
Staying in gratitude is I can't get enough of that saying, staying in gratitude, because happiness lives there. It really goes hand in hand with laws of attraction and vibration. So I think that's important too. If you can practice this every day, and I think it's really changed my life since starting to do this a few years ago. Think of a few things every day, and every day say thank you out loud. I don't care if you're saying it to God or you're saying it to the wall. Just thank you, thank you, thank you.
Right.
I have all that I need. I need nothing. The minute you put need into it, it becomes a whole other thing. That becomes a negative energy.
When you put
Put the word need and me into it. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. I am happy. I am fulfilled. I am
Gratitude.
loved. All of those affirmations.
Be
Yeah,
grateful.
it's a big thing. It really does when it changes. And then that ripple effect that you go throughout your day. When you get upset when you see people and they're so annoying and they're this and they're that, when you practice this, I can tell you start to laugh at that instead of get upset. Road rage. Yeah. I still get that once in a while. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I laugh and I say the same. I would do the line my father-in-law always gave. Well, they paid their taxes. They can drive on the wrong side of the road today. Like that kind of thing, and then just laugh it off. But staying in gratitude changes your life, and it changes the life of people you live with, people you love, and people that are around you. Because like anything, everything good starts at home. You can't expect other people to carry you.
Right.
You have to start. Exactly. See, Dolly caught it. Heal thyself. You have to start at home. Hold a door open for someone. It'll make you feel so good. And if they don't thank you, it'll be a lesson to them.
You can't control everything that goes on around you, but you can. The one thing you can control is how you react to it. That's pretty much how like it sums it up. You are in control of how you react to those situations. You can be really mad, you can be belligerent, you can be angry, you could just be just like, you know what? Enough of this. Or you could just smile, just play some binaural beats while you're driving.
You know what else is healing? Removing toxicity out of your life. It's okay to remove people from your life because they're making you sick. They're making you ill. It's okay.
Yeah.
Tell yourself it's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is a good point.
Yeah, Wayne says need and want are two different things. We need food, water. We want a big screen TV. Road rage. Sorry. All that energy goes into surroundings and gets absorbed. So every drive is a negative one.
Shut up. Don't be like humming at me.
My daughter drives like you. I hear her and I think of Michelle all the time. I'm like, wow.
I'm terrible.
I was a long time ago, but that's because you're on the highway a lot. It does that to you.
Yes.
Yeah, 100% Michelle, be able to control your reaction.
I
Easier
had said than done, though.
Yeah, knee-jerk reaction is very human.
It
And
is.
it takes a lot of control, and I've been practicing that for a long time, but I can tell you about 10 years ago,
Right.
not as calm as I am now.
Right. Well, we thank you for that, Dolly.
Yes, thank you for your service,
I
Dolly.
drove the bombs to the army.
You have to.
Mental
Yeah, I hope you
control.
stayed. Yeah, I'm glad that you were able to keep your mental. I would imagine that they do cognitive testing a lot on people who do
Well,
that.
you sure don't want to be like having an angry road rage moment. Fire that
Yeah.
off at somebody.
Yeah.
It is very hard. It all starts with us as, individually speaking. And I think if we could take that time to meditate or take that time just, even to just be still and listen to everything around you. Sometimes I always say, listen to the nothingness. Just be silent. It's peace. We need to somehow get back to a point where we find peace. I'll find myself, sitting at the dining room table and, always up to here in messages and things like that. And I get amused by the simplicity of life. I will watch the birds. We've got this crazy arbor, gorgeous Gothic arbor outside. And there's these big balls of like round metal, and they're full of like a cage, it's all big, wide slots. And the sparrows are trying to build nests in them. And they're trying to stuff things in them, but they keep falling out because the spaces are this big in between them. So Wayne goes out and helps them out and stuffs all this stuff in there, builds a nice base on the one. And the sparrow goes to it, steals the stuff from that side, and attempts to build the nest on the other side, which keeps falling out. The problem is still the same. I am amused by stuff like this. It's like
it's whatever gives you peace. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Stop chasing the day and just let it happen. I drive the Queen of the Dark Realm around almost every day, and it's because I do. You all get to wake up the following morning. You're welcome. LOL. Thanks, Wayne.
What are you saying?
I haven't been on the road, so I don't apply in that.
5
Chase
minutes.
5 minutes. Yep. Sorry, you
change
go
your
ahead.
life. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And if we find more peace within ourselves, I truly think everything would change. How our perspective is on everything. Because if you're peaceful within yourself, everything around you, you find the positive in it, you find the peace in it. I truly feel that that is a message I know for myself from a paranormal standpoint. Spent 20 years working with families who have been through some really horrific situations and how they bounced back because they were educated on how to put a positive spin on things and take control. Totally different people, and I have found so much strength in some of these people because they're warriors and they go on to help other people. It's a phenomenal thing to watch, but it just shows you that even in your darkest days, you can do it. So, now I think we all evolve in some way, but we need to keep evolving. We need to keep having these awakening moments and don't just look at something, just really, really see it. Don't speak just to be heard.
Listen.
Listen listen and listen.
Yeah, the speak not to be heard. I always say you listen to respond, you're not listening. And that drives me crazy.
It's true.
We all
It's
do
true.
it. It drives me nuts.
It's true.
Yeah. Do you know what I do that really gives me peace? It's going to sound really silly. When I love washing my hands. I do. I love washing my hands. I love being clean. I love being under the water. I love washing my face. That whole being clean makes me feel like I've washed negativity off. What did I say to you yesterday? I have to take a shower. I got to take a shower. I've just got to get in that damn shower. It makes you, for me, it gives me peace. And it's something so simple that you take for granted and you don't think about because it's something you do every day and you don't think about how amazing it feels.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's a big thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big thing. Tolly, I love my shower.
I love my shower. Me too. And unfortunately, I got to deal with the dog at the door all the time. But yeah, there's nothing more pleasure for me than being in there for even if it's just 10 minutes, like just that sound of the water rushing down, the connection, of course, being a Pisces, the connection, we're made up of water bubbles. It brings us back to the whole, back to the one source. I agree. And that's why I like fountains and that's why I like being by the water. And that's why I loved living on the water when I had my dad's summer house, when I was, able to go there.
Right.
I would have to say they were my most peaceful moments.
Oh, I love that. And you know what, guys? We're at that time already. We're almost at the top of the hour. And I have to say, I am so glad that we decided to do a Q&A and swap out our date with the Dukes, because I'll tell you, we really have a good time with you all. And I have to say, this got pretty deep on some levels. And man, I love it though. I love it. And I appreciate all of you guys for chiming in with all of your questions, comments, concerns, and just your opinions. It really means a lot to us. And it's what makes these shows do really well. I have to say, we have phenomenal people come on the show. We have unbelievable ratings. The archives, especially our SoundCloud archives, do like through the roof. And the ones that really go crazy are these.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's so much fun to interact, and I love it because you guys are so invested and you do your own research. A lot of you are researchers out there. A lot of you are learning, and I'm learning a lot. Michelle knows a lot. Like she will always be humble, but damn, she knows a lot. And I learned so much from Michelle and I learned so much from all of you. And for that, I am so grateful. So grateful and so honored that you share your thoughts with us and on air with like lots of people.
And you guys just make it that much more fun. See, I love this. Hug a tree.
Yes.
Hug a tree. I love it. Walk barefoot, do some groundings, So, thank you. I love when you guys all chime in. But yeah, we will have at least, two more. At least
your voice
2 more.
matters. It matters.
It does. It does. It's very important.
Yeah. Oh, I think that Michelle Roche and Amelia forget how much we love and respect our peace. Thank you, Chris. We love that you're here every week supporting us, and we love hearing from you.
It's true.
Thank you so much.
And
it's very humbling.
We will do more. We promise. I mean, heck, we bring them in pretty much once a month for you guys. Sometimes you bonus out and you might get 2.
Yeah, it's like a play date. Yeah,
exactly.
The best things happen when they're not planned.
Exactly. So, of course, you guys made it all so much more special for us tonight. So, thank you for taking the time to participate. Next week is going to be, of course, every week is really awesome, but we're bringing back Dennis Stone, the owner of America Stonehenge. He's going to be giving us some updates. The last time he chimed in, they were looking at doing some stuff. This guy's got like 100 or 110 acres. Remember how we're talking about all of these amazing things that were just left behind, clues? Well, this guy's been having people film there and researched there for over 50 years. And it's still a work in progress. So he's going to come and chime in. Thursday night, we welcome back Philip Mantle and Dr. Irina Scott. He's from the UK. She's from this side of the world. They're going to be discussing their continued research, which resulted in a new book. And I mean, we're talking decades of research on it's called Beyond Reasonable Doubt, the Pascagoula Alien Abduction. And holy crud, have they found a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff. So if you're not familiar with the Pascagoula event, please look it up. Just phenomenal stuff. It's one of those cases that had multiple eyewitness accounts and different experiences all at the same time. Really, really cool. She's just awesome. And Philip, of course, has been at this for a really long time. So it's going to be a great show. So, guys, until then, have a fantastic weekend. We shall see you all next week. And yes, thank you for tonight. We love you. And we're looking forward to doing it again.